All right, your weather and science-related questions answered right now on CI Living, courtesy of Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty. Good to have you back, sir. Yeah, look at that. Is that your picture?
That's me.
Sharp picture.
That's me.
All right, let's get to some questions. Holly Silver wants to know, what is the difference, sir, between isolated and scattered rain?
I'm sure you've probably heard us toss these terms out a lot, right?
But I think of it as storms, like isolated storms, scattered storms.
Isolated storms, scattered storms, widespread storms, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy. Like, what does it all mean? And a lot of people, they don't realize there's actually kind of a formula that we're using here in terms of how much of the area is going to be covered with rain, and that's what it basically means. So here's how we kind of break it down for you. So for isolated, basically we're saying that we think maybe 10 to 20% of our coverage area, and again, our coverage area is 30 counties, so we cover a large part of central Illinois. So, you know, when we talk about isolated storms, that means I would say 10 to 20% of the people that could watch us could see some rain. Now, you kind of bump that up to scattered. You're talking maybe 30 to 40% of the area that's going to see storms. And then you're talking widespread, and that's when you're about a 60% or more. So there is some actual reasoning that we use these different terms, and that's kind of the general idea of what those kind of correlate to.
Right, okay, but then obviously because 30 counties, it's a really big area. That's where you narrow it down. So you're giving people kind of the thumbnail sketch with this.
Yeah, you kind of throw those kind of loose terms out there with that. But again, here's the thing about it. Even with scattered storms, you could have a storm where it's raining at your house, and then of course you go across the road and it may not be raining at all, which is just kind of typical of how storms kind of work a lot of times.
I feel like that's life in central Illinois. Weather right here.
Rained in that cornfield, but not that one over there.
Yeah. This one's swimming. These corn stalks are swimming. This is dry as a bone. Yep. Man alive. Okay, good. Yep. Yeah, good information there. Thank you for sending that in. We appreciate it. Here's another question from Jody Wable-Smith. Many times prior to a storm, the sky turns a funny shade of green. This is also folklore, too. People always, I think, Wizard of Oz when I hear this. So why is this?
It does happen. And a lot of times, there's been a lot of debate going back and forth as to exactly why it happens. But you get this green color. Have you ever watched Twister? It's my favorite movie. I'm sorry, it's my favorite movie of all time. But in Twister, the guy goes, "Oh, it's going green, greenage," and it's like sound the alarms. Here comes the storm. But here's what's basically happening here. You get this green sky, and a lot of times because of hail within the storm. You've got the sun's rays that are obviously, the sun's obviously always out, but the clouds obviously cover it up. But some of those rays will make it through some of the clouds, and then some of those sun's rays will pierce through these hailstones, and it actually kind of refracts the light a little bit. And depending upon the exact positioning of where the sun is, and a lot of times it's when it's lower on the horizon, you're going to get more of some of that greenish color. So it'll be either early in the morning or kind of right there in the evening hours, and then you'll get this nice green color that makes it look, severe. So the folklore thing is, oh, if it turns green, there's going to be tornadoes.
Right.
Well, yes and no, because a lot of times some of the stronger storms do have tornadoes or do have hail in them, but not all of them will have that. So it's kind of like, well, there could be, but there are plenty of storms where maybe you don't have big hail that have a tornado.
Well, and there are conditions that have to be just right for a tornado to form, and so that may or may not be present when you see this.
That's exactly right. So you won't always have a green sky before a tornado. As a matter of fact, I mean, if we go back to the tornado, the weak one that happened up there east of Rantoul just a few weeks ago, I mean, it was a blue sky. It was actually an orange sky because the sun was setting too. There wasn't any hail, and there still was a tornado. So it kind of depends. It's all.
And that's why you need the WCIA 3 weather app, because it might say there's a 20% chance of scattered rain or something's going on, but you keep people informed.
Yep, that's what we always do. Isolated, scattered, widespread. We're here for you all the time, no matter.
Yeah, 24/7 on your phone. Got to check it out. If you'd like to ask Kevin questions, you can do so on his Facebook page. You can send him email at klighty@wcia.com or send him a tweet at Kevin Lighty. A tweet.
Tweet.
Yeah.
I'm a twit.
Me too, man. Let's tweet.